Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, as usual, is my co-host, Joel Meyer. How are we doing tonight, Joel?
Doing all right. You'd think it'd be a little bit more laid back after the Stanley Cup and whatnot, but no, we've had a very busy week since the Panthers won their second in a row. Still sports going on. We got CFL entering their fourth week. I have that on the screen right now with the Bombers and the Elks. And yeah, we've got to go back to Sunday though, which was one of the best days of the year so far for me. It was everything went my way. Could start with the golf, of course, with Tommy Fleetwood, the Leafs of the golf world. Still has not won on the PGA Tour, despite having 41 top 10s. I think he had 42 now, if you count this one, without a win. That was the plan. We were going to fade Fleetwood. And I only really liked one guy on Sunday, and that was Keegan Bradley. And I almost gave up on it because Fleetwood was in control. He looked to be recovering from his early few holes where he showed the typical Fleetwood nerves, flaccid wood, as we like to call him. And yeah, so 15, 16, I'm like, oh, fuck, he's going to finally do it. But no, he ended up struggling, and he had a one-shot lead going into the 18th, and he three-putted. And Keegan just dialed in a beautiful approach shot, and he was not flaccid. He buried that thing, which helped. The Fleetwood's bogey putt actually taught him the line, and yeah, probably just kill him. So that was nice. LSU baseball, we had the World Series. That was the most baseball I've ever watched in my life across Saturday and Sunday. Bet a lot there, both straight up and some Wimbledon stuff for Djokovic and Rybakina in particular. So that was nice. The Thunder, of course, finally getting the job done. That was pretty tight with Halliburton just draining threes. I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. But then he ended up tearing his Achilles, which is always the danger of playing as hurt as he was. So that sucks the Pacers, not only for losing the title, but for their season, the next season, because he's going to miss the whole year. So sucks for the Pacers, but good for us. Thunder win the whole thing. So yeah, Sunday was an absolute treat.
Yeah, I watched. I saw you guys talking about it in the group chat about how Fleetwood is always Tommy Tumble or whatever you call it. I'm like how he just always goes.
Tommy Tumble, I haven't heard that one.
It was something like that. I don't know. Tommy Tumble. I guess. Well, Flaccid Wood. That was it. That was sorry. Trying to keep it more family friendly, I guess. But Flaccid Wood, yeah. And I saw an interview with him after he lost it. He was just breaking down. And I mean, credit to him for talking with people and whatnot. But had to be tough there. And then, yeah, Game 7, NBA Finals. I saw a video on the hockey subreddit. So, of course, there was people being like, please like my sport, like comparing how the team celebrated at the end of the game. The Thunder didn't celebrate at all. And I'm like, I feel like as very much an outsider of basketball here, this NBA Finals will be viewed as remembered as the Pacers run. It's not the Thunder getting it done. The Pacers are the team that will be focused on and remembered. Which,
no doubt.
Yeah, because Thunder dominated all season long. They were minus 700 going into the series, and had to come back. I mean, so credit to them for coming back. But people are going to remember, the Pacers run through the Eastern Conference. Halliburton, Alabama, there, just all that good stuff. Former Sixers process legend TJ McConnell coming up big for the Pacers. But yeah, I mean, the hockey celebration just unmatched.
Yeah, the Pacers, buzzers beaters, and all that, they were definitely the story of the playoffs. There was, other than maybe Nuggets, Clippers, that one game where Aaron Gordon dunked at the last second. I think the Pacers had all the best games in the playoffs. And I mean, fucking Brad Marchand's probably still drunk. Like the Panthers will still have.
That fucking celebration. It was Marchand just tagging all the teams, thanking them, and pulling whoever out. But also,
right.
I'm not sure if you saw. I kind of like how Sergei Bobrovsky. He had his long hair. He shaved it. He's like, all right, I'm resetting for the next season. And I forget what religion or philosophy or whatever he follows, but he does that. He's like, all right, he's resetting for it. And credit to him. Credit to Bob there.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize him there. Who the hell is that guy? Yeah.
I wonder if Panarin had a similar thing, but I don't think he grew it out too far there. But So hockey over, basketball over. Still got baseball going on, and we got NASCAR's in-season tournament. We're running a free contest. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NASCAR contest for your chance to win a $200 gift card, and make sure to subscribe to the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Speaking of those giveaways, the two winners that were tied, they both got a jersey, I believe. So hopefully they got back to the bosses. We're able to get that shipped out. Maybe we'll see them. Tag us on Twitter at HockeySGPN, and we'll give you a shout there on one of our next shows once that arrives there. There has been a ton of hockey stuff too. Not just golf, not just CFL, not just basketball. A ton of hockey moves over the past week plus here. Got in the title, the Trevor Zegras, JJ Peterka trades. You got Evander Kane going to the Canucks there.
Coming home.
Let's start with that one, I guess, because it seemed like the Oilers they wanted to get rid of Kane. How does that fit with what the Canucks are doing? Who I now saw extended Garland for I think 6 more years at like $6 million. Like, where's the money for Quinn?
Does Quinn even want to re-sign at this point? I mean, I guess I get the Operation Resign Hughes, and you need to have a competitive team to do that. But Evander Kane just barely helping you to scrape into the playoffs. Is that really going to convince him to stick around and believe in the long-term vision of the Canucks? I said on last week's episode, my vision for the Canucks is just to tear it down. But that's with the belief that Quinn Hughes won't stay, and it's for reasons like this. This doesn't make any sense to me. It just screams of desperation. Clearly, they wanted to get they were in on Peterka a little bit. They also wanted Matt Duchene, but he resigned with the Stars. And now they just figured, okay, we have limited assets. We'll just trade a fourth and get Evander Kane. Maybe in a contract here, maybe he'll provide a spark. But the biggest concern is lack of character that he's shown. Maybe he's a little better now. He was a little more behaved in Edmonton, but no, in his press conference, he didn't really accept any culpability for his past transgressions. So that was also a concern. And yeah, Edmonton, they have a strong leadership core. They can absorb a guy like that. But the Canucks, after just experiencing the JT Miller, Elias Pettersson debacle, Quinn Hughes is still a young captain. There's not a strong leadership in Vancouver whatsoever. And a rookie head coach too. Adam Foote has never coached in the NHL before. So yeah, it's just it's going to be interesting. It's going to create a lot of content for the Canucks, no doubt. But yeah, I don't think it's a good move at all because Evander Kane is not going to lead this team to the promised land. And if it's just desperation. There's no other moves to be made. I guess that was the plan. They just get this guy for a year. It's low risk, I guess, in that sense, but it's high risk in the sense that they're not going to help Quinn Hughes decide to stay here with moves like this. So I'm entirely opposed from the Oilers. They're fucking ecstatic considering they just got off this deal. I thought that they would have to give up an asset to get rid of that contract, but nope, they don't have to pay at all for it. In fact, they get a fourth for it. Bizarre. Yeah,
apparently there were 3 teams in on him, in Vancouver maybe had the best asset or whatever. Or I guess Kane had a modified no trade clause, so maybe he had some say in it there. But yeah, how is Pettersson going to deal with Kane in the room? Like if Kane is just this like loud, rambunctious, like problematic guy, like I wonder if that drives Pettersson out and see him go elsewhere. And yeah, if that happens, trade Hughes too. And
there's no operation keep Pettersson.
No, I know. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Like, all right, let's bring in Kane. Let's get someone else awful. Let's see if we can get Pettersson to ask for a trade. Yeah, I mean, the Canucks are going to be weird. I heard now they might extend Demko too. Like, you're going to have Demko making, I assume, more than Lankinen. He's at 4.5. You got extended. You got your Abbotsford Canucks or Seelovs with the Calder Cup playoff MVP. Good win by them there.
The Butterfield Award, I think it's called. I think so. Yeah, that's their Conn Smythe. Yeah, Shelov's incredible performance. He's like a tournament goalie though. Like he can't play in the regular season, but he plays well in the playoffs. He plays well for Latvia in their international tournaments. Now apparently he's an elite with the HL the playoff run that they had. So we'll see if he can do it on at least a backup basis. But no, I'm actually in favor of the Demko thing. It's just another another question mark. There's going to be so many question marks about this team next year. I'm not very hopeful at all about the 2025-26 Canucks. But yeah, it's a very strong goaltending group they have now. If Demko is remotely healthy again. So yeah, Demko, Lankinen, and Shelovs if he doesn't get claimed on waivers, or I don't know if the carry 3 goalies, whatever. But yeah, that's one of the few positives, I guess, if it is even a positive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good goalie stable there. I mean, Demko, yeah, you never know if he's going to be healthy. He was someone that, the Flyers had some connections to because of the Tocchet thing. I was like, yeah, I'll take Demko for a year, see how he does. If he's healthy, it raises the ceiling, lowers the floor. If he's injured, him and Ersson there, which is exactly what they did with the Trevor Zegras trade. They gave away Ryan Poehling, who's on a contender team, a 4C, on a decent team. He can play 3C, and then a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick for Trevor Zegras, who's 1 year left on his deal before becoming an RFA. Needed a change of scenery. Love this deal for the Flyers. I think it signals a lot more. Briere has been talking about, this isn't our move at center. We're going to go out and do something else too. So I'm not sure if Rick Tocchet can win Jack Adams again next year, but I will be looking at some, when those markets come out, Flyers make the playoffs. I try to find Jack Adams odds. I'm not sure if you have any for Tocchet there, but in a week,
20s.
Yeah, in a weak Metropolitan Division, like, what are the Rangers going to do? The Penguins are unloading everything. What are the Islanders doing? Trading Dobson potentially? Like, what are they doing? Like, the Metropolitan is just wide open.
Exactly. Yeah, we could talk about Jack Adams at a future date, but I do need to have some exposure out there because there's a lot of room for those non-playoff teams to make leaps and bounds up there in the East, especially in the Metro, where I do not see more than 3 teams making the playoffs out of that division. So yeah, Flyers definitely have an avenue. The Rangers suck again. Devils and Canes, I think, are fairly locks, but that 3rd spot, Capitals, massive PDO. We could see some aggression from them. I mean, they're not winning the division again. I'm almost certain of that. So yeah, there's some room there for Flyers or the Isles, for that matter, to take that 3rd spot. So yeah, Tocchet isn't the worst shot, even though he just won the award. He still has a lot of friends, of course, among the broadcasters. Yeah. So yeah, he won in a landslide a couple of years ago. So yeah, there's still a lot of support for him there. But yeah, from the Duck side, though, interesting moves there. Zegras, of course, does not seem like a Quenneville player, does not seem like a Verbeek player, even though he fits right in Anaheim, culturally speaking, like a rollerball hockey player, like just like hanging out in the sun, very 80s neon vibes. Now he goes to a true blue-collar city in Philadelphia, where he doesn't seem to fit the historical culture of the Flyers, but they seem to be changing that recently. Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. But, yeah, Kreider and Trouba instead of a Zegras. So,
yeah, and Philadelphia is like a major market, but when you're here, hockey is clearly the fourth team in the city. I mean, I guess the Sixers could be dropping down there pretty soon too. But like, unless the Flyers, once the Flyers are making playoff runs, teams get into it, fans get into it with the casual stuff. But outside of that, they're very much the 4th team in the city. So
you put the Phillies ahead of the Sixers still?
Yeah, easily Phillies are. Yeah, I mean, Eagles are clear 1, but Phillies have been, especially now with Harper and everyone, that they're clearly 2nd there, and then Sixers are, I don't know what they're doing there. Other trades that happened past week.
Trust the process, right?
Trust the process. We're in year 10 to 15 now of the process there. We got a Marchment from the Stars to the Kraken for a 3rd and 4th round pick. I like that for the Kraken. Get a big winger. Can fill in there. Kraken also got Freddie Gaudreau from the Wild for a 4th round pick. So looks like they're adding some veteran presences there.
Just a bunch of mid.
Yeah, and then the big trade last night that a lot of people were shocked by, JJ Peterka going from the Sabres to Utah. Before the return was announced, people were like, oh, is this going to be for the 4th overall pick? And no, it was for defenseman Michael Kessering and Josh Doan, officially cutting all ties with the Arizona Coyotes. Doan's gone. They're the Mammoth now. It's just a completely new franchise there. A lot of the discourse around that was it was a steal for Utah. Peterka then signed to 5-year at $7 million or opposite?
6 times 7, I think.
6 times 7 there. Wrong. And
yep.
7.7 there. And Peterka had a good year last year. He had a high shooting percentage. We'll see if he can, keep it up. But I feel like he fits right in on Utah. Utah getting a winger there. any player that leaves Buffalo seems to take a step forward. So Kesselring, I guess, is better than I initially thought. A big right shot defenseman who can move the puck. But Sabres. Who knows what's going on in Buffalo? It's every offseason. It just seems like they have to do something. But Utah, I mean, they're making moves.
Right. It's easy to take shots at the Sabres given the track record of trades gone by. So any deal they make is going to be, Sabres, they suck. Here goes another bad deal for Kevin Adams and co. But it's not the worst. Like Michael Kesselring, as you said, he's been a solid performer. He stepped up big time when Sergachev and Marino went down for the old Coyotes, and Kesselring was able to step in, do a good job. But no, it's I'm a big believer in JJ Peterka. I was already high on the Mammoth. I'm going in. No more hockey club, no more Coyotes. We're all in on the Mammoth now. We can stop mixing up names.
Do you like the Mammoth as a name?
I don't care.
You're fine with it. You don't dislike it, which is a win for Joel.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I was already high on the Mammoth. I think they're gonna do great things this year, at least in the regular season. And adding a German just adds to my fandom. So yes, absolutely love the trajectory that Utah is going from. They have a ton of picks, and they got lucky again with the lottery, getting that 4th overall. They want to move it, but so does everyone else. Like everybody wants to get better now, and except for the Penguins, of course. And so it's gonna be hard to move off that pick. So they probably just keep it. And that'll be another stud in the system.
Yeah, I mean, Mammoth do have a lot of cap space still. They're rumored to potentially be on Marner or other big guys. I saw Ehlers is like pretty much going to market now. They said I saw that earlier today. Same thing with Marner, but Marner just seems like I saw Vegas Golden Knights next team for Marner is -175. Like that just seems crazy. But I guess unless Carolina swoops in or he wants to go play in Anaheim or Utah, like Vegas they have to clear cap space somehow to get him. But I don't doubt anything Vegas has done. Like they just seem every year to reload and come back at it. And I think you mentioned it. A Marner, Eichel, Dorofeyev line would be dynamite in Vegas.
Absolutely, yeah. Dorofeyev, I think, could play on the left and put Marner on the right. And that'd be one of the best first lines in the league. I mean, this is just a rumor, but Kyprios mentioned that Pietrangelo might even retire because of that hip thing that bugged him and it made him so awful in the playoffs. In particular, could possibly an LTIR candidate if that thing persists. But that might be their plan. I mean, Vegas always has a plan in terms of like cap circumvention. So. And -175 seems about right. Maybe even a little short because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Vegas now, given everything that we're hearing. And like everything points to Vegas picking up Marner, which would be massive for them. Their biggest weakness last season was their lack of support on the wings. Strong down the middle, strong defensively, but the lack of winger support. So Marner would make a ton of sense for Vegas, and especially they're always going big game hunting. So they're in the mix. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, any big name that's out there, they're in the mix. There was a rumor of Tomas Hertl potentially being traded, like to Carolina. That was out there from one guy. That clearly did not happen. He has a modified no trade clause. William Karlsson's name's been out there. He's at $5.9 million. Also has a no trade clause. So they'll have to clear out something. But I mean, if Pietrangelo does retire, that's $8 million off the books, and they have 7.6. So that's probably what Marner wants, is around 14 or 15 there.
I don't think he's getting that much.
You don't think so?
No. In a tax-free state? No, definitely not.
I guess not. Maybe only 12 or 13 there.
I think the Leafs offered him 13 and a half.
Yeah, but he wasn't staying in. He wasn't staying in.
He's not even getting 13 and a half.
Yeah. And who reported earlier that he's gonna probably hit the market, which will probably be the first time he hit anything in quite some time, given how he plays there.
Don't be a Leafs fan.
Other news today: Marc-Edouard Vlasic bought out by the Sharks. He's either going to retire, or I could see him going to like Florida on like $1 million deal and being like a great sixth defenseman for them and just fitting in. But no, I feel like he's older. He's 38. He's older than I thought. He's probably done there.
Oh yeah. He's been done for a couple of years now.
Right. Did not realize we were already 20 minutes in here. So we are brought to you by mybookie.ag. your place to bet on every sport, including the MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And of course, Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. You get a limo ride, 5K tab, a stadium swim, and a hotel stay for the entire 12-person league. You can always get 15% off at all the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Last chance to enter the Circa Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway till the end of the month here. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. All right, Joel, anything else over the past week in the NHL world you've been keyed in on or want to get your thoughts out on?
No, I think we covered. I mean, we more than covered. We went
pretty far. Mark River Vlasic, yes. We went Mark River. One question for you, as someone who I assume watched a lot of Avalanche hockey two years ago. What is Bo Byram? What is the deal with him? Like, can he be something out of Buffalo, or is he probably not going to reach his ceiling?
Well, he's been healthier than he has been in a while. You know, they had those concussion issues that threatened his career, but he hasn't been the same player, not even close to what he was in the playoffs when the Avalanche won the Cup. Like, he was better than Makar in the Stanley Cup final. I know Makar was playing hurt, but Byram was like, he more than compensated for what Makar was lost there. And we haven't seen that player since then. And yeah, I mean, he's another Vancouver guy, so there's been a lot of rumors linking him to the Canucks. That's kind of died down recently, but yeah, he still has some talent and all that, and he's clearly unhappy in Buffalo. So maybe if he gets to a better location, he can rediscover that form that he found in Denver in 22. So yeah, we'll see. He's still young. He's still got a lot of time to grow in, and thankfully the concussion stuff seems to be behind him. It's been a while since he had his last one, so that's encouraging for his career's sake.
Yeah, played all 82 games last year, 22 minutes, 42 seconds a night. So yeah, he played big minutes there for Buffalo. All right, we are 21 hours away now from the NHL draft. Plenty of movement, plenty of rumors in recent weeks, recent days even. Let me pull up the odds here at MyBookie. But what are some of the things you're keying in on here ahead of the draft night?
Well, first of all, we're not going to just list off a ton of bets, a lot of actionable stuff, because these markets are moving all the time. Well, not so much in the last couple of days. It's been pretty static as we await Corey Prummann's his last mock, which will probably be released early Friday morning, just like he did last year. And yeah, so things are pretty static. The big question, of course, is who's going second, who's going third. There was a massive move towards Anton Frundell to go second. Miso is north of minus 1,000 at one point, but there's been a lot of noise around Frundell going to the Sharks. Apparently, Mike Greer seems to value that kind of player, and he needs to get a little bit more defensively responsible players, considering their current composition of young guys. And you know, celebrating he's a great two-way player, but he's on the smaller end. And Frundell is supposed to be like Sasha Barkov, Anze Kopitar kind of player who can slot in excellently and as a second C. So that's been the reason behind the move, in addition to little whispers, but we don't know if it's smoke or not. So that's why that number is pretty much settled down at around plus 140 to go second. I think that's pretty accurate. I'm hoping for chaos because we got Misa at some massive numbers to go third, even fourth, and Frundell to go second. And so I'm hoping for chaos, but right now there's no move to be made. Here's the second point. Just wait for the Prummann's draft, his mock draft, and you'll see the market go crazy. So as soon as you see that, that's when you want to make your bets, because yeah, the market will be dictated. It'll respond to that mock draft, because he has been the best mocker over the past few years, very accurate. And yeah, so if you're on the East Coast, it's even better, because I'll probably be sleeping still when it comes out. Although he might be in LA. I'm not sure if he's in LA or still out east. So I could be a little closer to when it is released, when I wake up, that is. And yeah, so I got a ton of, COV for whatever it matters. And it doesn't matter that much, considering like almost all this market movement is dictated by these mock drafts, and that's so if the mockers are wrong, CLV doesn't mean shit, and oftentimes the mockers are wrong. It's not like the NHL or the NBA or the NFL. NHL is highly fluid. There's not nearly as many insiders. There's not nearly as many. There's not nearly as much intelligence going on. Even the teams themselves don't know who they're taking most of the time. So yeah, it's going to be chaos tomorrow. Looking forward to it, but yeah, maybe we can give a few bets out. But right now it's very fluid. Just yeah, monitor the mock and then just fucking chase the steam, more or less. Like make sure you have a few books and yeah, just get the best number. That's all you can really do unless you're an elite problem solver, like a puzzler. Or what's the word? Like making puzzles, solving puzzles. What's the correct verb I'm looking for?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of it.
Make it. There is a word for it.
You're a real puzzler. A puzzler. I don't know.
Yeah. So my point is that if you can like work things out, like this team needs this. This is who they're looking at. These are the kind of players that fit their mold. So if you want to go deep out of it, you can go independent of it. But that's not my game. So I'll just trust the mockers who know a lot more about that stuff than I do, and I'll trust the team to some extent, not too much, especially in the NHL where CLV, like I said, does not mean too much. It's not quite like the NFL or the NBA in these drafts. So that's the macro thought for the draft.
Got here in the chat, Parker the under better. I do appreciate him sticking with his under, his name under 1.5 goaltenders drafted in the first round. But that's like minus 500. But come on, give us something else there. Brady Martin drafted for 6.5. I do like that quite a bit. His stock has been rising. Potentially going to the Flyers at 6. Potentially going to Utah at 4, I think I've heard there. So under 6.5 there as well. And I know CLV doesn't mean anything, but you got some pretty great prices on Higgins to not go first, correct? And he's dropped down to like.
Oh yeah, that's a wash. Like I bet him not to go first, and then I bet him to go first at one point. So that's a wash. I'm not even counting that. That was all like months ago, like very small limits. But I missed this in the chat. I needed to highlight this one because I get called a Nazi for this flag, but this guy he nails it. That German flag, Johnny Pelican. This is that German Empire flag in the background. That's awesome. I totally agree, Johnny Pelican. Just wanted to show that because it is a beautiful flag.
Yeah, and. Adam Osimo, I know you're new to the podcast here, but this is a pro Panthers podcast. You cannot hate the Panthers. You cannot hate the Panthers. We love the Panthers. We love 100-1 on Sam Bennett to win Conn Smythe. We love all of it there. So big Cats fans here at the Hockey One podcast. Yeah, what do you like here that's still viable to bet? Like I know you told me to take what was it? Coots over Nesbitt, and that's at minus 250 now. That was a pick 'em when you recommended it. Brady Martin under 6.5, minus 134. As Parker the Underbetter pointed out there, that could be actionable right now. Any of these mid to late guys you like?
Yeah, maybe some small stakes. Like I don't want to sound like I'm boasting here, but I have a ton of bets, but the numbers are all crazy out of order. But I still like I've betted this multiple times now, but the goalie Joshua Ravensbergen, I still like the over 26.5, especially because I'm hearing now that the Preds are not quite as interested as we once thought, and they pick at 26. So
interesting, yeah.
Even at 26.5, I still would recommend that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see no goalies go in the first round. Yeah, that sadly there is no over half a goalie to go in the first round.
No.
So yeah, that minus 500 that should hit. If it's not, then you might have a losing draft there. But
yeah, I've seen Ravensbergen's number at 25.5, which is interesting because, like you said, the Preds do have 26. They also have 23. I can't imagine they take him 23, but I think like if you can get like an exact pick at 26, maybe. But I did not hear that they are not interested there in Ravensbergen. That's it's a good note there.
Right. Also, Cullen Potter. This guy is he's more like a skilled guy. His stock is falling. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes over. Not even over. Like if he drops out of the first round altogether.
Yeah,
20.5. I still like the over there. That's a decent bet. Also, a bet I made today that just should be still around 5-1 for Shane. what's his name there? Shane Verspaghi or Vershaghi?
Van Saggy. Shane Van Saggy. Yeah.
Yes.
He's not here on my bookie, but what do you got on him?
5-1 to be drafted in the first round. He's available multiple books. Still at that price, so that's a decent look there. I mean, we have Cam Robinson was saying he had him in the first round in his mock today, and he's like a Tom Wilson type, which is of course in high demand in today's NHL, where we're prioritizing skill, but then the big guys are actually the ones who are more desired, especially when we have a team like the Panthers winning 2 in a row, and I like that quite as well. Scott Wheeler, he had him at 39, but even he said that was like his floor. Like he thinks that he's going to be a late first, early second rounder. So at 5-1, I think that's worth a shot for Shane, whatever Shane
Van Saggy, Vinsaghi, I believe. He has been mocked to the Flyers a few times. Yeah, I think he's from the University of Michigan. He played at last year. Another guy I've seen go to the Flyers at 22, but I've seen him down into the second round is Daniil Prokhorov. The big Russian, 6'6". I've seen him compared to Valnius Shushkin. Not sure if he has the same recreational habits off the ice as well. But
I heard Evgeny Kuznetsov was looking to return.
I saw that.
Speaking of,
but yeah, Prokhorov over 26.5. I don't think he's going in the first round. Like the Flyers.
What?
Do you think he's going in the first round?
I got him at 2-1, so he better.
2-1 is a solid bet, but at over 26.5, like I don't think the Flyers will take him at 22. Maybe if he's there at 31, they'll take him, but I've seen him down in the second round and mocks around there. And I don't know. I know Providence.
I wouldn't take that, or no, not at 26.5. I think he's late first.
Yeah. So you take you take the over there. Yeah. Okay. So
I wouldn't say that. I would skip it at this point. I think that's pretty much right.
Yeah. Trying to see any other ones that are interesting.
I got one more, which is this is for the true degenerates. And if you have this market number of OHL players drafted in the first round, it's minus 250, but I don't see how it loses. Like there's 10 easily, but they're pretty much a lock. And then there's 11th, Henry Burstevich. It's a Polish name. I can't say it. Burshevich. Henry B.
The defenseman from London.
1,000 consonants.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's there at under 30.5, minus 130. That's a consensus price, and so he's favored to go in the first, and that'd be 11. So 9.5, I think, is pretty solid. The other 10, it'd be not a shock, but very surprising if any of those 10 guys dropped out of the first round. So you got to look at who plays in the OHL, I guess, if you don't doubt my word. But yeah, minus 250 there. That's my favorite bridge jumping bet at the moment.
So I'm using the Tankathon mock draft because that's the one that shows where they're from. So I'm not seeing 10 here on there. You got Schaefer, Misa, Martone, Martin, O'Brien. They're going top 10. That's what 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 with Atchison, 7 with Reed, 8 with Spence, 9 with Jack Nesbitt. That's all Tankathon has. But then you have, you got Wang. You got Wang and Henry B as the first 2 picks of the second round. So
Wang is OJHL. That's not OHL.
Oh, that's OJHL. Apologies. Yeah. So
keep going down. Who's missing?
Romano,
no.
Ivankovic.
No, you must be counting wrong, or it must be listed wrong.
It must be listed wrong.
Double checked this multiple times.
Okay. It must be someone that's listed wrong, or like played for a different team and got traded to the OHL or something. Because let me pull up a different mock draft to see if it has.
Here, I got Bob McKenzie's one up. This is easier.
Right, perfect.
Okay, I'll list them off. We have Schaefer, Misa, Martone, 3. O'Brien, Martin. That's 5. Aitchison, 6. Nesbitt, 7. Cameron Reed, 8. Spence, 9.
Spence, 9. Who's his 10th?
Henry B, 10. What the hell?
Henry B, 10.
Am I just okay? That's not so much a good bet then. My math is that bad. I can't even count.
Yeah,
I can't even count.
The Flyers might take Henry B at 31 because he's London, and the Flyers have a bunch of London Knights there. They could use a right-handed defenseman in the system there, but yeah, I'm not seeing Schaefer, Misa, Martin, Martone, O'Brien.
That. I might have to eat that bet unless Henry B goes.
Maybe you have to take some Henry B. 30. I mean, he's at 30.5. Like It should hit, but maybe not minus 250.
No, definitely not a minus 250 because you might as well just do Henry B under 30 and a half at that point. Minus 30.
Brustowitz. Is that how it's pronounced? Or is
it? Brustewitz would be my guess.
I mean, I'm known for my great pronunciation of names on this podcast. So.
Polish is tough even for me, man. Damn. Okay, I'm befuddled. I'm gonna pay some more attention to this after. I don't know how I miscounted that many times because I double check, triple check, quadruple check. But all right, I don't know why it's minus 250 then. That doesn't make any sense.
Let's look at some of these markets that may not move as much. Number of defensemen to be drafted in the first round. I saw it here. I think it's at 8.5. And then you go through this mock draft. You got Schaefer, you have Mertka, you have Smith, Atchison, that's 4 in the first half. You got Reed, that's 5. You got Boumedienne, that's 6. Hensler, 7. Fiddler, 8. And then you got Henry B is 9. You got once again a lot hinging here.
Yeah, I know, right?
On Henry B.
I have a minus 200 to go in the first 2, so
double down there.
I know.
I'm not sure why. Like I've seen this on a lot of markets. Total Swedish players drafted in the first round. Like it's under 4.5. Who are the Swedes here? You got Frondell. You got Eklund. That's 2. You got Gastrin. That's 3.
Who's the 4th? Is it no Nielsen? But that's I haven't seen him mock too much in the first round. There's one more confirmed, right?
Well, if it's at 4.5, I would think so. But also, it's minus 429.
Exactly.
Also, it could be a Swedish player that's playing in Canadian juniors, and I'm
trying to figure out who it is.
Yeah.
Ugh, I wish they listed the country they're from.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes it tough.
I think
Will Horkoff, that's probably an American.
Oh, here we go. Well, this is premium, but Frondell, Eklund,
Ravensburger is a Swedish name.
Boumedienne is Swedish, so that's 3. Gastrin's 4, and then Nilsson, Izwazniak is 5 and 6. So
Izwazniak is you should go early second, but I could see him sneak into the first. So
it's not a bad 3-1. Not a bad option there.
Yeah, I also like the 3-1 for under QMJHL, which is basically just the under on, or rather the over for Bill Zonin.
Because you got Desnoyers, Carbonneau, and then
Zonin there at 25ish. But he's like end of first round, but at 3-1, I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop out.
20 and onward, there's a bunch of guys that could go
exactly. Like the mockers don't know. They're just like spitballing. There's gonna be a few guys who come up there out of nowhere, like usual. But the Russians too. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody like Ryabkin is not.
I've seen Ryabkin mock to the Flyers a few times and Prokhorov, but I feel like that's just people. That's just people trying to look smart and be like, "Oh, they have Michkov. They have a bunch of Russian guys. They're going to take another one." But they have so many. They have 3 second-round picks still. They can use them on.
Zarovsky, I think, would be the likelier second Russian. He's a very skilled right winger out of Ufa.
I don't see him on this list here. So,
wow.
Oh, there he is. 42. 42.
Yeah, he's getting a little hype lately, but we'll see.
Yeah. Head to head, like McQueen is someone that's interesting to me. I could see Trotz taking a chance on him at 5. But before we move on here, got a shout out. Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em. Sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code HGP. And, of course, Rhythm with their power trends. Not a baseball fan, maybe. Look on there. They got the power trends for you. They can find bets for you. So check them out with the power trends. Are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. you know we'll be. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yeah, McQueen. If I'm not sure if there's like a 5th overall option for McQueen. If there's 5th overall pick, McQueen plus 450, might take that. I feel like that's a very interesting market to look at, is 5th overall, because the top 4 seem to be pretty set with Schaefer, Misa, Frondell, and somehow Desnoyers has snuck his way in there. Then you got Martone, you got Higgins, you got McQueen. Maybe they take a Martin type. Like, I feel like that's an option where, if you're a Preds fan, if you're locked in on what the Predators are doing, you can maybe make a little bit of money.
Yeah, Pronman was saying today that the Queen is the guy with the greatest range in the entire draft. He says he sees them as early as like in the Misa Frendel range, or you can see him like late teens. Like, that's how wide of a range this guy has because of the elite upside, the size, the skill. Maybe someone questions his intelligence, but he's exactly the kind of player that's kind of center that teams are looking for, but he's also got the back issues, of course. So it's a bit of a risk. But yeah, it's hard to see him dropping out of the top 10. They're 9 and 10, like the Sabres and the Ducks, teams that have a lot of prospects already in the pipeline, I think would be willing to take a swing. So 9 or 10, I think, would be the floor for Roger McQueen. And
even then, Pittsburgh now has back-to-back picks with the Rangers giving that up at 11 and 12. Like, I think that's a swing that Dubas might be able to take.
Could see him trade up from that. I think that's a possibility for the Pens. But yeah, Jake O'Brien is also like that matchup is funny because O'Brien is also a bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
Disruptor, if you will. And he's been mocked all over the place too, from like 4 to 9. So that's an interesting one. I certainly wouldn't lay minus 270.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Considering the volatility of both players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me see if there's any other interesting ones to look at here. Cole Reshny is the guy I've heard people would like the Flyers to take at 21, but should go in the teens. He's at 18.5. That's probably a good number for him. Potter, yeah, he could go anywhere there. Ravensburgen over Frolov, I like, but that was minus 175 a few days ago, and now it's minus 270. Kendall Reed, Henry B, Nesbitt, Smith, Higgins. Like, Higgins over 5.5 almost seems like it's getting to be a lock at this point, just because he's fallen down so far. But I don't know. It could be a smokescreen maybe by Nashville or something.
Right, and the Islanders apparently trying very hard to move up. So I think I'd acquire a trade for someone to grab him there at 5. Yeah, we'll see. This is another number that it gets away from you. But no, minus 222 I think would be too big of a price to pay, especially in this draft where there's so much still to be undecided.
Yeah, like if a team in the top, like who has 3? If Chicago took Higgins, like I wouldn't even be shocked. Like he was the consensus number. Well, yeah, sure, but he was a consensus number 1 going in. Like if a team in the top 5 gets him, it's like, all right, yeah, he's should be a top 6 center at the NHL level.
Eklund is an interesting one.
Eklund 12.5. Yeah,
everyone's mocking him to the Red Wings because we all know the eyes are plan now. We all know players he likes, and Eklund fits the mold exactly. So at 13 is just like the obvious choice there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean
that's 12.5. Good number there. Good
number.
Right.
So the small bet there, Eklund over 12.5. But again, just wait for Proman's draft because he's been the most accurate mocker of the past few years, and you'll see the market respect that.
Yep. Yeah, and we'll try to post some plays there in the Hockey Channel in Discord if we're able to before the lines move. So make sure you check that out there. Any other draft stuff before we move on to closing the show out?
No, I think I've done a fairly decent job, although I've been suckered a few times just laying too much juice. Like Kindle over 24.5. I know the numbers move for me, but I shouldn't be laying like minus 250 for a positional prop in the 20s. Like anybody could take this guy. So yeah, I get carried away sometimes, but that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, and as we always say, this is a very important time where you have multiple outs. Check all your books. There's usually misprices there, here and there, so take advantage of that as All right. What else you got this weekend? CFL. Golf has already teed off, I believe. Anything else we got coming up? Wimbledon start soon?
Next week.
Next week. All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Should be able to record before then. Probably possibly our free agency recap. So we can talk about Wimbledon.
We should be good on Wednesday. I feel like Wednesday should be our set day during the off season.
I go to the States on Thursday, so Wednesday would be perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. CFL. What do we got? We got the Owls, of course. Their plan and line is moved in favor of the who the hell are they playing? The Hamilton Tiger Cats. That's because Davis Alexander, the stud QB, this pretty young QB who's come out of nowhere for the Alouettes, he's going to miss it, which means McLeod Bethel-Thompson, veteran backup CFL guy, will be taking the starting role, but I still like the Alouettes. They're going to be carried by the defense. They still have a good offense and a good running game, and the Tiger Cats are miserable. And yeah, Owls are only laying -1.5 there, so I like the Alouettes on Friday nights. We'll be having that on the second screen as we watch the draft. And I got nothing on the Argos Red Blacks, but Saturday night, of course, BC Lions, the team I know the most. They'll be likely playing Nathan Rourke, the stud QB. You might recognize him from the NFL. He played for the Jaguars and one other team I can't remember. And he's likely back, but he's going to be limited by his oblique injury. And they're playing arguably the best team in the league in the Rough Riders. So -3.5 there. I like that quite a bit. Lions offense still hasn't got going. Buck Pierce has to get things ordered. He's the former OC of the Blue Bombers, and it's going to take a little bit of time for him to settle in with his new offense there in BC. So Rough Riders -3.5 and under 51.5 for a lot of the same reasons. I think the Riders defense is the best unit on the field, so that's where we're going. Riders defense will carry the day Saturday night.
I mean, you stole my points, Joel. I have nothing else to say.
All right.
You got any golf going on? I noticed the big boys aren't playing this weekend.
Oh, I didn't bet anything, actually. It was just my one and done with Gorgon. I had to call Morcow. I think he sucked today, so that's Max Grazeman and
55-1. I'm saying Colin.
Yeah, that's no good. He went off at 12-1. So yeah, one and done. Not looking so good, but I don't have any golf bets. No.
All right. That's going to be our NHL draft show. React to some trade series, CFL stuff and whatnot. Make sure you subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Ring that bell so you know when we are going live. Like and comment. Let us know what you think about the draft and everything else. Like we said, we should be back next Wednesday, hopefully. You can follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. Get in the Discord. And I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer. You'll find me quintuple checking how the hell I missed out on the White Shell thing. I'm still think I'm right. I'm going to figure it out, though.
All right. Well,